What's up, everybody? It is the Best Buy Kids Move, and I'm back with another video. We're gonna be talking about we're talking about this Xbox game showcase that just occurred. As I expected, it was an incredible showcase, very good. Was not disappointed, none the least. I have maybe 2 or 3 negative things, but none of them actually had to do with what was shown. It was more so, the extra stuff that I was expecting. So the only thing is, spoiler alert, we did not get a release date for Indiana Jones or Avowed. Those are the 2 games I expected. Like, come on, let's get a date and them pre-ordered things up. Thought that should have been there, considering we're 6 months into the year and these games are coming in the second half. We needed those release dates. The other thing was the lack of backwards compatibility or Game Pass updates for the back catalog of Activision Blizzard games. Don't know. Now, that can still happen. I know Phil Spencer got an interview to do later today, and there's Summer Game Fest is still going on, so that can still happen. But the showcase itself, amazing. State of Decay 3 looked amazing. A lot of people want to front because it's like they didn't think this was gameplay. Of course, a lot of this is not gameplay, but there were cuts of gameplay, and I'm sold on a lot of things what Xbox has shown me lately because of these games are running on Unreal Engine 5 and they delivered with Hellblade 2. So I believe once and then we know Fable, we've seen Fable again and more gameplay this time, and it's on par. I believe with that, what they're targeting, they're pushing closer to what their target is. So State of Decay 3 has my attention. Xbox Game Studios showed out big today. Everything that they showed, I want to say about 90% of the showing was from a first party. Whether it's Xbox Game Studios, whether it was Activision Blizzard, or whether it was Bethesda, everything was shown first party. The pacing was perfect. They didn't go too much into the add-ons. I mean, obviously we saw Starfield again for the Shattered Dreams, which ironically didn't have a release date. They should have had a release date for it. They had the updates to Activision Blizzard, not Activision Blizzard. They had the update for Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online, Sea of Thieves, for the live service games. So respectable. But the pacing and the constant world premieres and new games and stuff like that was great. Obviously, EA came through, showed them love with Dragon Age, which looks good if you're interested in that. Ubisoft helped them out with the Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay. Square Enix came through with the latest version of Life is Strange. We're going back to Max, living her new life and whatnot, and that's interesting. That pulled some strings because for those 2014, 2015, when we played the original Life is Strange, man, it was a good game. So I'm glad Square Enix is going back to the original character. But the major highlights from this showcase were definitely South of Midnight. Did not expect that from Compulsion. Some people were not a fan of the stop motion. I enjoyed what they showed. It looks like it's going to be a good fantasy action adventure game. And what they showed, I am impressed. And I believe that game is coming out in 2025. They showed Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark. I'm impressed. I'm very, very, very impressed of what they're doing with that game. Shout out to the initiative. Shout out to Crystal Dynamics. They showed us Fable again and confirmed it's coming out next year, and that game looks marvelous. Looks marvelous. Oh man. They showed us, obviously, Call of Duty had a separate direct, and they're going back on some things. This might be one of the best rated Call of Duties in a long time. And obviously, they reconfirmed this is day 1 on Game Pass. They confirmed that all the betas will be launching. There won't be no timed exclusive. I'm curious to see how they're going to do it. Is it going to be a free beta, or is it going to be pre-order only on PlayStation and Game Pass subs get it? You know what I mean? That's what I think they should do. I can't tell you what stole the show, but I liked Flintlock. I liked the 33. I think it was not 33 Immortals. This is a turn-based RPG game. It looks really, really good, but it's turn-based, and it's like they mixed in some real-time action along with the turn-based. But graphically, it looks good. It's going to Game Pass. I think the Sandlot Studio is doing that. Flintlock comes out next month on Game Pass. What else did they show, man? There's so much content in the showcase, man. I actually gotta look for it, man. They got so much content that showed up in the showcase that impressed me. And the thing is, every game impressed me to a high degree, man. Like, I enjoyed freaking what I saw from Perfect Dark. Obviously, Indiana Jones still looks good. I thought this trailer went on too long, and I thought it went on too long just to not have like a concrete release date. But Indiana Jones looks good. I'm looking forward to that game. Avowed looks good. It's still one of my most anticipated games for this year. They had some few Souls-like games that kind of hit very well for me, and obviously. That one more thing, man, was Gears of War Emergence Day, E-Day. One of the games in there. Shout out to Grimes about Gears. I don't know if you remember this, but I used to peg him. I was like, I just want a Gears of War games that goes back to Emergence Day. I want to see what went down, man. What went down. And it looks good. I'm happy about it. And I know people, you know, obviously Gears of War 5. I was a fan of Gears of War 5. It was one of my favorite ones. I liked the story that they went with Kate. But majority rules, and majority don't like it. They want the classic Gears of War, the do bros and whatnot. But that was when Gears was at its peak, and I hope they knock it out the park. It was great to see a young Marcus Phoenix and Dom and them going to Emergence Day. The story they got to tell that leads up to Marcus Phoenix's arrest and whatnot. The list of the games that were shown, I finally got a list of them, but. We got obviously Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That's a big game. It's going to be the biggest game this year in terms of sales. Indiana Jones is going to be great. Gears of War. We don't know when that's due. I'm predicting this is a 2026 game to line up with like the 20-year anniversary of the first Gears of War game. Doom: The Dark Ages. That game looks dope. That's coming from. This is day one Game Pass. This is also coming out on PS5. They didn't show anything that was coming for a PlayStation 5. Obviously, you have to find out after the show if it was coming to PlayStation 5. Avowed, the Diablo Vessel and Hatred. The game Diablo 4 is currently in Game Pass, so you're gonna have to cop the expansion for sure, and it's probably gonna be on discount. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 confirmed for November of this year. Warcraft War Within's PC only. The expansion to that. It's coming out in August. We saw Dragon Age. We saw Assassin's Creed. That's November 15th. Stalker 2 is coming out September 5th. That game looked good. Age of Mythology Retold is actually launching on Xbox Series X and S. Day and date with PC. Also in Game Pass. That launches September. So we got a release date for that. A first party release for that. Fable, again, went best game shown. In my opinion, one of the best games shown. Due next year. This game called Mixtape where you get to control people with like music and stuff like that. Not really my vibe, but hey, I'll check it out. Perfect Dark, obviously, that's one of my most anticipated games. They delivered on showing that game. They showed kind of a mashup of like Mirror's Edge meets pretty much. It's Mirror's Edge meets Titanfall meets whatever. But what it does is it's they're trying to do something different than your standard first person. It looks appropriate, and the game looks good. And the turn-based RPG that we were talking about was Expedition 33. I think it looks good. South of Midnight is going to be a banger. South of Midnight is going to be a banger, first-party banger, and that's due next year. Starfield Shattered Space. They looking like they're going for like a dark angle. I'm still curious to learn more about it. And Starfield got a free update today, so the creation kit is there for those who like doing the mods and whatnot. Some new locations opened up today. That's all going to be tonight. So I'm gonna boot Starfield up tonight. State of K3 again. I talked about that. Wu Chang Fallen Fathers. To me, it's like another like Souls-like game. Looks good. Metal Gear Snake Eater showed up. The Fallout 76 showed up. Fall, this game Fall showed up. I was surprised that Flintlock's The Siege of Dawn is launching next month. This is the 33 Expedition 33 game that, like I said, they came up with a trailer that we thought we were just gonna get like cinematics, but we got like full-on gameplay, and the thing looked impressive. I'm not really the biggest fan of turn-based, but I want to get in. I want to get in and do it. It's just that my patience, the learnability for these type of games. But when a game looks this good and the story looks this interesting, you kind of have to jump in, right? So I'm gonna be watching this game close. Winter Burrow, they showed this hero shooter called Frag Punk, and then Mecha Break. Everything they showed from first party looked impressive, and to the point some of them even surprised me. Third party games, like I said, they were a good majority of the games coming in the Game Pass. I was on and off for what I wanted to score this showcase. I was like maybe 8.5. A reason why I was at an 8.5 at first is that, again, it was nothing to do with what they showed. Everything they showed was great. Now it's like, how much am I valuing backwards compatibility in the back catalog of Game Pass, right? For Activision, I think that should have been in the show, right? We still might get it, but I thought you're supposed to find some spot in the showcase, right? They also showed off a new, obviously, Xbox Series X digital, the white one. They showed off a limited edition with the disc with 2 terabytes. It's like black and with like green. But I think the pricing on that is kind of ridiculous. They want $600. I'm surprised they're going with that angle. They showed a white version of the Series S, which is the 1 terabyte. I feel like the Xbox Series consoles got kind of suddenly got a price increase. The Series X, the digital, gets a $50 price cut, but the Series S got an increase because they increased the terabytes. But again, the misses for me were, again, the lack of the backwards compatibility update for ABK games and the lack of the Game Pass editions of ABK games, and the lack of release dates, solid release dates for games such as Avowed and Indiana Jones. I feel like those needed release dates. You need release dates for that, because I don't know when the next marketing beat is to give you those release dates. But when you take away those and you just judge the showcase for what you've seen, what they showed, what they put on display, what games they got coming, them games looking nice. And I'm shocked at Compulsion Games with South of Midnight, because this is one of their most compelling games. You know, obviously they gave us Contrast that was all right. We Happy Few was an experimental title. It was all right. This looks very impressive. This looks very, very, very impressive. And I'm looking forward to the release of this game next year, man. Yo, the Xbox Developer Direct next year. The Xbox Developer Direct next year, man, in January. It's going to be incredible. Because you got to think about it. Doom the Dark Ages is going to be a part of it, for sure. South of Midnight is going to be a part of it, for sure. Fable is going to be a part of it, for sure. And there's usually like a fourth game. I don't know if it's going to be Perfect Dark or, you know, Clockwork Revolution or whatever. Is going to be a part of it. But I'm looking forward to it, man. They're cooking. 2024 is great, but 2025 is going to be even better, man. This is clearly, like, people don't like the stop motion. I can appreciate this. They're trying to do something different with these games, man. And I can appreciate this, man. This got a little bit of everything. Some people say it remind them of Kenna. I can see why they say that with the corruption that builds up right before the boss fight. But I'm liking the, you know, the inclusion, you know, it's taking place in like down south. Woo. This game looks good, man. This was an amazing showcase, man. I can't even complain, bro. I'm a happy Xbox customer because of this showcase. This is a 9 out of 10. And if you gave it a 10 out of 10, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Like I said, there was a couple things that I really wanted them to solidify, but if I'm just going based off the games alone, I'm happy with everything shown. Now I still got questions about where the heck Towerborn is and whatnot, but They did their thing, man. They did their thing with this game. With the showcase. But let me know what your thoughts are, man. I know I went on rambling 15 minutes and whatnot, but the Xbox Game Showcase, man, Xbox, like, it's crazy that, you know, Xbox don't get the credit when it's due. They got a wonderful console. They got some amazing games, and they have a subscription service where we can play these games and you don't have to drop a grip. You know, you don't gotta drop $70, $80 for these games. It's like Xbox should really be up right now. They really should be up. Hopefully gamers this year realize like Xbox ain't nothing to play with, and they got some bangers coming. All right, but that's my video, guys. Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the inside of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace.